Hey guys, it's Candace Jones here from CJ Sweet Life. I'm sitting down at Coastal Wellness in the Flower Bluff of Corpus Christi, Texas. This is the first of 15 live Facebook videos that I'll be doing over the next 21 days. If you didn't know, I'm doing a 21-day cleanse. It's an online cleanse, so anyone around the country or the world can jump in and partake in this. You'll get one of these shirts. It's awesome. Live Grateful. Perfect for the upcoming Thanksgiving season. It's crazy. I went to Hobby Lobby today, and they're already playing Christmas music because apparently it's Christmas time and they forgot about Thanksgiving, but I haven't. So, all about living grateful. So today I'm starting off talking a little bit about intuitive eating. And intuitive eating is another word for saying eating with awareness, or just a way of eating and overcoming emotional eating, I should say. And I like to start out this way with most of my one-on-one clients, because we've all been taught, or we like to focus a lot of times on what to eat, and often we aren't taught how to eat and how to create peace and calmness in the environment when you're sitting down and eating. And this has been something that truthfully helped me a lot in my relationship with food. If you didn't know, I used to play golf. I played professional golf, and I was an athlete at Auburn University. And I used to use food as a way of dealing with my emotions off the golf course mainly. I loved nutrition in the sense of using it to perform better on the golf course, or in my life. But I also had a hard time with dealing with any sort of setbacks or anything negative that might have occurred. I would often use food, didn't happen a lot, but I would use food in a way to feel something. I would do it in a way to overeat, or I would eat a bunch of sweets if I had a really bad round, or just in a way to deal with something that I didn't like, or something that I just couldn't get over. And when I became a health coach, or started going down that route of healing, I went to a school called Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and I read a book by Janine Roth, and it's called Women, Food, and God. And it's not necessarily a book just for women, but it's actually a book that I've read multiple times on different occasions, and has healed or helped me in those different stages of life, whether it being with dealing with heartbreak from a hard relationship, or just learning to be more present in my life. And that's a lot of times with why we deal with or have a hard time with emotional eating, is because we are wanting to escape somehow through the food, or we're wanting to hurt ourselves through and to feel pain, maybe, rather than to actually just sit there with your emotions. Went a little off of my board, but I really think it'll help someone else understand where I'm coming from. So There's a couple different books or websites. There's all sorts of articles out there on intuitive eating. And I wanted to just kind of break it down into 5 steps that I think are important, or really the main focus of really understanding your emotions or handling the how to eat. So the first one, can you see that? Let's see. Okay. The first one is listening to your body. And I think it's important that we learn to have some love for our body and to have self-love for who we are. Regardless if you don't particularly love physically what you look like right at the moment. Because, it's not who you are. Your body is not who you are. It's just a vessel. But it's the only body that you have. And to show self-love, we have to feed our bodies with loving foods. And because in some books, like even the book that I recommended by Janine Roth, she goes on into really honoring your body or honoring your hunger. And that could even mean if you're really craving this amazing dessert, whatever. You might be craving like this cheesecake from this restaurant. She talks about actually going out and getting the cheesecake because that's exactly what your body wants, and you're listening to your body. And there's some truth in that. Like, I'm not trying to say that every craving is bad. I'm wanting to say that it's important to switch over to the foods, though, that are nourishing your body as well, because those foods are actually going to heal and create loving energy because of what they are. So the first one, listen to your body, honor your body, and love your body. So the second one is listening to your hunger cues. Now, my 21-day cleanse is a cleanse. It's not a diet. We're not cutting calories. We are eating when we're hungry, and you're listening to your body that way. Okay, so it's not about deprivation. It's understanding that, your body has needs. You get hungry. It's not something to hate about your body. It's just natural. It's something naturally that occurs, right? So being kind to your body is responding to, your hunger cues when you're actually hungry. The third one that I think a lot of us have problems with is to finish eating when you're full, preferably right before you're full. And I'll go into that. In our society, we've been taught to clean, it's important to clean your plate because, they're, kids or whatever in other countries that are starving. And yes, that is true. Kids are starving in other nations, but simply you shoveling in more food off your plate or stuffing your body to where you're feeling sick or whatnot is not helping those kids anymore. Your body is not a trash can, and we need to stop treating it as such. It's your temple, right? And we need to show it the utmost care. So, you can always. The biggest thing that helped me was, I would go out and have like amazing meals or whatnot, like if I was at a restaurant, for example, and you just like wanted to eat every bite because it was so good, or you just like or maybe you were eating clean or were on a diet and you didn't see yourself allowing yourself to eat that meal again. So you would like want to finish it because you just didn't know when it was coming again. Well, this is where you need to give yourself permission to enjoy the foods that you like, or permission to actually eat, and to realize that, you know, you're going to have a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're going to have maybe snacks in between. Like, another meal is coming, right? So you don't necessarily have to stuff your face in one setting because you're fearful that another meal like this one won't be coming. And, you know, if anything, if you're like at an expensive restaurant or whatnot, just go ahead and ask for a to-go box and make a little serving for you to enjoy later. So that's one tip. So the fourth one that I think a lot of us deal with is eating with distractions. A lot of us eat with the TV on or with our cell phones right there. So the fourth tip to eating intuitively is to eat without distractions. So to cut all that, you know, stuff out. No, we tend to overeat when we are in an atmosphere that distracts us away from our food. So, you know, every time when you're not focusing on your food, you're not focusing on the actual taste. You're not focusing on if you actually still are enjoying the food that you're eating. You're not focusing on if you're still hungry or whatnot. So that's the main thing. You're not focusing on chewing the food and properly digesting the food. So this is one thing that I have been struggling with lately, especially at home, because we tend to gravitate to just eating at the coffee table. Yeah, sorry. And so I'm going to be focusing on, especially this week, now that we're talking about intuitive eating and that's on our forefront, I'm going to be focusing on having family time and having my meals at my beautiful dining room table and just enjoying the moment of sitting down with the meal that I prepared and focusing on eating. Okay? The last tip, number 5, is eating in a calm manner. And this is obviously a physical thing that we can control, but it's also an environment. I know, you know, in America, we're running around a lot of times around mealtime. And, you know, one time I know we went to Spain, and the Spanish, they're known for having their like lunchtime siestas and things like that, and they really pride themselves in enjoying their meals and sitting down, and they're usually there for a very long time. But it's I guess it's a cultural difference, but I loved seeing that, and I don't think that's gonna happen over here anytime soon, but it's something to strive for as far as, you know, creating a nice environment. Take away the clutter. Don't use your dinner table for an office space or for an extra shelf space. Make it pleasant. You know, clear all the clutter. Use your nice plates. Don't use paper plates if you don't have to. Like, bring out the pretty plates. Have some nice lighting. Maybe even put some enjoyable music on. And, you know, get rid of all the noise and the distractions. And that way you can focus on the taste and eating rather than shoveling the food down. Just a thought. Just something I've thought about. But yeah, we can't another thing too is even just the talking that the conversations you might be having. Uh, Take out all the stressful talk as far as even like finance or something you might be talking with your spouse about, and just make it like lighthearted conversation about how your day was and whatnot. We can't properly digest our food when we're under stress. And the stress thing is kind of like you're in like the fight or flight kind of stage. So when you're eating and you're stressed out, your body wants to focus on the threat that's happening, right? So it's not going to focus on breaking down food and actually using that food for energy. It's focused on whatever threat there might be. So yeah, let's just sit down, enjoy our food, chew it, taste it, and smile at the end. Okay, so I want to give you like a couple tips. I just have two basically, and I actually even just gave you one of them to sit down at the table. So yeah, sit down, eat at a table at every meal. Okay, make the table enjoyable. Use the pretty plates and napkins. Have some pretty music. If anything, if you can, get out in nature and get in the sunlight. Get out and have a pleasant experience when you're eating. You're much more likely to, enjoy the food, and the food is actually going to react better to your body if you're reacting in love and kindness. So another thing that I would recommend is to keep a food diary. And this doesn't have to be stress or something so stressful as far as jotting down everything you eat. It's more about how you feel when you eat, right? So just jot down, on a scale for 1 to 10, 1 being like full on starving and 10 being full on like stuffed your pants after Thanksgiving and need to unbuckle. Like, that's the scale. So, preferably you want to stop eating when you feel around a 7. You don't want to be completely full. You just want to be content. And it's important to eat slowly. I don't know if I didn't mention this, but it's important to eat slowly because our body sends messages to our brains, and a lot of times our brain doesn't know that we're proper or we're full until like 15 minutes actually after we've eaten. So it's important to kind of eat slowly, give your body time to actually know that it's full, right? So with writing this diary, just honestly, just think about how you're feeling before you're eating, and then write down a number or whatnot that you give yourself after you've finished eating, and then just take a second and to think about emotionally how you are with the food. Did it give you energy? Did it bring you love or whatnot? And if not, then maybe it's something that you need to consider as far as not having again. One example for me was I did a food journal right when I started out becoming a health coach. I had a health coach through my school, and I had a lot of digestive issues when I first became a golf professional, mainly from, I think, the stress of being on tour and just traveling a lot. For some reason, I just had a hard time eating. Like, I mean, pretty much I cut out everything in my life because I kept having stomach pains after eating. And so I did a food journal with my health coach, and at that time I had pretty much eaten oatmeal was like my staple for everyday breakfast because it was so easy to like take around, and I just like knew exactly like it was 250 calories for my oatmeal and all this other junk that I would put in it. So she like after doing maybe like 2 weeks of writing down my food and how I felt after and before I ate it, she made a point to say that, like, you know, after every time you eat the oatmeal, you are feeling sick, like you're feeling nauseous. And I was like, man, like that's brilliant, because it was. And so I cut that out of my life, and it definitely helped me. But yeah, I think that's about all I have for today. It doesn't look like we have a whole lot of questions because it is my first meeting, so that's okay. But I hope this helped y'all to become a little bit more aware, and I hope you can start trying some of these when you're eating. It might not take hold right away, but you know, just like I said, just sit down and just taste your food and actually think about enjoying your food and think about finishing before you're full. That's the overall gist of emotional / intuitive eating. So you can still sign up for the 21-day cleanse. Today is the last day to sign up. So you have till 12 a.m. to sign up. I have a link. Yeah, I think it's in the event page. Yes, it is. Okay, so I have an event page on my Facebook page here at CJ Sweet Life, and you can just click on the link above. It's for Eventbrite. Just click on it, and then it'll take you to where you can buy your ticket. And right away, you will get emails from me with all the ebooks to get you started. It'll have your I'll have a good example for this week's meal plan, and I'll have a shopping list. You get this awesome shirt. You get my love and support. So I hope you guys join me and my other friends and participants all around the world in this 21 days challenge, sorry. But anyways, y'all have a good rest of the afternoon / evening. Send you lots of love, my friends, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.